These kids have done an amazing job from zero to finish tonight. We wrote the script together, we workshopped it, we edited it, and then we built all the masks. We built the giant puppet that you're gonna see. We built the little puppet. We built the sets. We painted the mural. We brought in my friend Jessa here, who is a costume designer. She worked with the kids, in particular Avion, who has a real talent around costume and fashion design. Avion designed all the costumes. And then Jessa and Avion and some of the other kids sewed all the costumes. We put this whole thing together. We got Porter right here running the sound of Talented Art and Theaters. A big round of applause before we go on. Fingers on live African drum. I'm Mr. Ballard. I'm the Talented Art and Theater teacher. I will be your storyteller and narrator tonight. I've done this a couple times. This is the story of where all stories come from, and how the West African spider god, Anansi the spider, brought stories to the world. At the beginning of all time, there were no stories on Earth. There were no poems, no myths, no legends, and no dreams. Naomi, the Lord of the Sky, kept all of the stories to himself up in the Sky Kingdom in the heavens. Anansi, the first spider, Kawaku, heard about these stories and decided, if I could get my hands on these stories, I could share them with my children, and they could share them with all the people of the world.
I will go see Naomi the Sky God and ask him to share his wonderful stories with me. You know what they say, if you never ask, the answer is always no.
Naomi, the sky god, awaited in his sky kingdom.
And your flattering isn't bad either, but I will not just give away my stories for free. The price is very, very high. Great kings and mighty warriors have tried and failed. Do you think you, tiny little spider, are up to the challenge?
Oh, yes, God King. I may be small, but my wits are keen, and I am very tricky.
Well then, clever and tricky Anansi. If you want my stories, you must capture 4 of the most dangerous creatures in all the world. First, you must capture Onini the python, whose coils are like stone.
Onini the python?
Yes. You must also bring me the hornets Marambo, whose stings are like fire.
Yikes! The hornets Marlboro!
You must also bring me Osebo the jaguar, whose teeth are like knives.
Osebo the jaguar? Yes, he is the fiercest of all the creatures of the world.
Finally, you must bring me which cannot be seen or held in hail. Maltia the fairy, spirit of the forest, who moves invisible like the wind.
Maltia the fairy? And if I do these things, you will give me your wonderful stories, correct?
Yes, these are very tricky things to do, and you're still little, so you must use your wits to accomplish these 4 nearly impossible tasks.
And so, Anansi the spider returned home. Considering how would he capture these 4 dangerous, powerful animals? He went to go ask his wife Aso for advice. Aso is the real brains of the operation, guys.
How so am I going to catch Onini the python? Catch the python? Who would want to do such a thing? I would. Naomi the sky god told me if I can complete 4 difficult tasks for him, he could give me his wonderful stories so we can share them with our children, so they can share them with everyone. Good luck. Wait, Aso, won't you help me, my good and clever wife?
Aso had a good plan.
Come on, Anansi. Use your wit. Cut a big branch on a big palm tree and then take it where the python lives. Aha! I know just what you are thinking.
And so Anansi did as Aso had suggested. He went down to the river where the python lives, and he found a big palm tree. He cut himself a branch from the palm tree, and Anansi's children helped him with all of these tasks. They cut a branch from the palm tree, and they put it down by the river where the python lives. And then Anansi pretended to have an argument with himself.
It is longer than this. No, it is not. Yes, it is too. No, it is not. Yes, it is. No, it is not.
Until he got the python's attention. And Onini the python came slithering out of his tree and slithered down to the river. Began to investigate the situation. Onini was very proud, considered himself the king of all the snakes. And he approached Anansi.
Anansi, will you stop that racket immediately? What on earth are you doing?
Oh, I didn't see you there, Onini. Perhaps we could settle this argument I'm having with my wife.
What argument?
My wife says you are shorter than this palm branch, but I say you are the king of pythons and much greater than this branch.
And so I am.
That's what I said, but my wife thinks there is no proof.
Well, measure for yourself.
And so Onini the great python stretched himself out next to the palm branch.
It is hard to tell. You are all wiggly. Perhaps if I tie you with my spider webs to straighten you out, we can see how truly long you are.
Very well, Anansi. Tie me to the branch and you will see that I am indeed long.
And that foolish python allowed himself to be tied to the branch. Nice spider webs, Anansi.
You fell for my trap, Onini. I have good news and I have bad news.
What is the good news?
You are definitely longer than this palm branch.
I knew I was longer than this palm branch. What is the bad news?
Onini, I'm going to be taking you on a little journey.
Ooh, Onini the python didn't like this idea at all.
Journey? Now wait. Wait just a minute. I don't travel well. I get seasick. I have corns, bunions. My feet hurts.
Feet? What feet? You don't have feet.
And so Anansi the spider carried the python Onini all the way up to the Sky Kingdom.
Well, my clever spider friend. I see you have captured Onini the python. But do not forget, you still have to bring me Motia the fairy
they will be accomplished.
Anansi was very confident. And so Anansi returned back to the earth, and he went to his home, and he found a calabash filled with water. A calabash is like a hollow gourd, and he found one that was filled with water, and he knew just what to do. And Aso was like, hey, Anansi.
So, how will I catch the hornets tomorrow? I need your help. Fill the calabash with water, and then pour some on yourself, and take it and pour some on the mobile. Aha! This is just what I needed. A calabash filled with water.
And so Anansi went into the forest. He thanked Aso, who always had the best ideas. Went into the forest and found the hornet's nest. And the hornets, Mobro, were swarming. They were very angry. They're always angry. Crazy hornets swarmed everywhere. They spun around. They really liked Jimi Hendrix. And then they gathered around their queen.
We are the hornets, Mobro, whose sting is like fire, and we burn those who dare disturb our nest.
So Anansi took some of the water from the calabash and poured it all over his own head. And then he dumped the rest into the hornet's nest. And Anansi said, the rains have come early this year.
Look out! It's the monsoon! The rains have come early this year. Get in my calabash so you won't get washed away.
And the hornets all freaked out again. And they swarmed into the calabash. And the hornet queen put the nest inside the rock. And they swarmed into the calabash. And Anansi sealed up the top with his spider webs. And took them straight to the Sky King in the heavens.
Well, Anansi, you've done it again. You've captured one of my creatures. But remember, you still have to bring me the jaguar and Motia the fairy.
Yes, God King. Again, they will be accomplished.
Thank you very much.
Yes, nothing is impossible for a spider such as Anansi. That might be the cutest part of the whole show. It's maybe my favorite. All right, and so once again, Anansi was at a loss as to what to do. So, as usual, he went home and asked his wife Aso for advice.
So, how do I catch Osebo the jaguar? Oh, I know. Make a batch of ginger brew and then dig a hole. Thank you, so.
And Aso, as usual, knew just what to do. So, Anansi went into the forest, and he took a shovel, and he dug a deep, deep, deep hole. And then, Anansi made a batch of delicious, fragrant, powerful ginger brew. So, what most people don't know is that jaguars are crazy for ginger brew. They can smell it a mile away and they can't resist. So Anansi poured the ginger brew into the hole that he had dug. And then he went and got some leaves from the tree. And he covered his trap. And he hid the shovel back in the rock. along with the empty bottle of ginger beer. Perfect. And he waited behind the tree for the jaguar Osebo to come prowling the forest that night. Osebo was vicious and hungry. He was ready for dinner and thirsty. He could smell the ginger brew. So he prowled around trying to figure out what that scent was.
Yeah, rawr, wow. What is delicious, intoxicating scent?
He looked around and then he fell into the hole!
Whoa! Oh!
And Anansi sprung out from behind the tree.
Oh, Sebo, whatever are you doing in this hole?
I'm on and on. I can't get out. Anansi, please help me.
Oh no, Sebo. If I bring you up out of this hole right now, you might eat me up.
No, I won't. I promise. Please, Anansi, help me.
Only on one condition. You have to let me tie your mouth shut and your paws together. So that way, when I bring you up out of this hole, you cannot eat me.
Fine, just get me out of here.
And so the mighty fearsome jaguar Osebo allowed the teeny tiny spider Anansi to tie up his hands and his mouth with his spider webs and bring him up out of the hole. And Anansi carried Osebo straight up to the heavens to go see the Sky King.
Wow, Anansi, I'm very surprised that you captured the jaguar.
Oh yes, the Sky King. Like I said 2 times, it would be accomplished.
That is true. But a teeny spider like you never thought you could do it. You're very close. But remember, you still have to bring me Motia the fairy.
Yeah, got it.
The spirit of the forest, who moves like the wind, invisible and unseen, untouchable by the hand. And so Anansi considered very carefully what to do. He built himself a puppet, and his children brought it out and helped rig it up. Anansi's children are very helpful. They help their father Anansi with all kinds of tasks. Anansi made a bowl of candied yams, delicious, irresistible candied yams. And he covered the whole thing with sticky, gooey honey, and he poured sap and all kinds of other sticky stuff all over it. And he made this big, gooey, gummy, sticky mess of dal and yams, and then he made a little spider web to the puppet, checked if it worked, and then got behind the tree. And Motia the fairy was doing her thing, moving like the wind through the forest, and she happened upon this little city. She came over to the puppet.
Hello there, my friend. Wow, I see you have candied yams. Did you know candied yams are my absolute favorite?
Oh, and the puppet nodded yes.
May I have some of your candied yams?
The puppet nodded yes again. But when Motia reached out, they became stuck.
Let me go this instant, or I will slap you.
But when Motia slapped the puppet, they became even more stuck and more angry.
Let me go this instant, or I will kick you.
But when Motia kicked the puppet, they became completely entangled and gummed up in a mess of puppet and yams and honey and goo. And Anansi knew that his trap had worked. And so Anansi brought the impossible to capture Motia fairy, spirit of the forest, up to the sky god. Spider rubbed him again just for good measure.
Wow, I cannot believe my eyes. You really captured Motia the fairy?
Yes, I did, Sky King. And this is the last animal you said to capture. Like I said, it would be accomplished.
The sky god was so impressed, they made a decree to all of creation and presented Anansi with a book of wisdom that had every story, every poem, every dream, and the entire world inside of it.
I hope your children read these stories to their children, and their children read it to all the world to come. This book will now be called the Spider Book, and you will be known as the clever and tricky Anansi and the weaver of webs.
Thank you, Sky King.
And so, this is why, to this day, Anansi the spider, the West African spider god from Ghana, is known as the keeper of stories and the weaver of webs. And all stories in Africa are considered Anansi stories. Even the story I have just told you today, Anansi's first story. Thank you very much for all of your support. We have Elan Williams as Anansi the spider. Ryan Ballard as a soul the spider. Yeah, she is. That's a four-person operation right there, guys. We also have Jermaine Davis as Onini the python. Jalen Williams or Jalen Holloway as Mobro the hornets. The entire second grade UNO class as the little hornet swarm. Civil the jaguar. Elan Academy as Motia spirit of the forest. And we have Charles Burris, Michonne Craft, Claire Brown, Josiah Glasher, and this name is Anansi's children. Thank you guys. We're going to close out our show with the drum circle from Mr. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot Porter Glasser. Now Mr. Ballard. We have Orlando Magic Fingers here. Thank you guys very much.
Since we're having so much fun, we got a bunch of drums over there. You can take a couple drums real quick.